Hey guys, so today is going to be a video on updating the quest system and also taking you through a few of the changes that will be released in this next upcoming patch, which should be out very soon, either tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when I get the final details kind of tied up. But first, I'm going to show you the first quest system, or the first quest that the shaman who summons you will give you. So if you come up to the cave up here, you'll notice a few things with the old shaman that were not in the game before, if you've seen this. He just has a quest indicator over his head so that you know he has something to talk about. And then when you start this quest, he's just going to ask you to cook some food and boil some water just to get you acclimated to the hunger and thirst system. Kind of explain how to keep your player fed and hydrated. And so this quest will trigger as complete when you drag the cooked items into your inventory. So I come over here to the fire and there's wood and everything in here already. When I drag a meat and a water into my inventory, the first quest is complete. So then I'm on to my second quest, which is to go get some flax and lavender for making clothes and bandages. And this is just kind of a simple introduction to the basic mechanics of the game to keep you alive. So I have this quest set up. So now when you see making useful things, the old shaman wants you to make some flax twine for clothing. So everything is set up for this except the actual completion of the quest and the reward. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So the first thing I'll need to do is open up the inventory system component, which is from the survival game kit inventory system. And I'll have to make some alterations in here. So I'm going to go to where the items are crafted, which is here. And you can kind of see the checking crafting requirements. Do you have enough of the materials you need and so on. And then immediately, once that's checked and is returned true, then we're going to add the item into the inventory. So when I do go and collect flax and lavender, the first thing I'm going to need to do is make sure that I'm checking to make sure the right item is being crafted into my inventory component. So the item I'm going to use to trigger is the first item you would craft with flax, which is the flax twine. Once you make twine, you can make cloth and then bandages, clothing, that sort of thing from the cloth, or combining cloth with lavender. So just as a simple way to get the player acclimated, I'm explaining the crafting system as well as the fact that there are bandages in the game and where to find all of that in the inventory system. So this is just sort of an introduction quest for that reason. So I'm not going to make it too complicated or be very specific about which items are crafted. I figure if the players crafted the flax twine, they get the gist of everything else that they would be able to make from that. So what I need to do is right here before the item is added into the inventory, I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure it's the correct item. And then if it is the correct item, I want to update the quest, which is going to need to take place on the survival character. So we'll open up survival character here, and you can see this is where the first quest is. When there's a trigger sent from the inventory component here, this quest is going to be complete. So we basically need the same exact thing here, but we're going to do this for quest 2 since this is the second one. And then I'll need a custom event. And I want to run that on owning client since each individual client that's doing the quest is going to get these updates, and that way one person completing the quest doesn't trigger a completion for everyone else on the server or in the session. So now that I've got that made, quest 2 end is the name I'll need to remember. So then we can come back into our inventory component, and where I've done this disconnection here, we're just going to make sure that our new code is going to go in between this line and doesn't disrupt adding the item, whether or not it's the correct item or not. So first thing, this is the item coming out. As you can see, the name in item count is what is being used for add item. So I can draw this out. Oops. And I just want to make sure with an equal string that this is the correct item coming through. So then if we want to make sure flax twine is spelled correctly, I gotta go to my item list, since it'll have to be the exact same text. And then I'm going to look for twine, flax twine, flax underscore twine is the name I need. So I'll head back over here so we can do a double check right there. And then of course we'll need a branch. And then we can go ahead and hook up to that branch. And then if the item is false, meaning it's not flax twine, no big deal. We just send it right back to add item. It just means we're crafting an item as usual. This one-time check here, though, if it is true, all we really needed to do was fire over to survival character and trigger this quest to end event, and then that will fire over here. So first I'll need to cast over to survival character, and of course I'm going to need a controller for that. As you can see here, if you don't have an object which inherits from that the cast is inheriting from, then it will fail. So I'm going to need a master character reference, since I happen to inherit from master character and I already have that reference set. I can use that to plug in as an object. And then I just need to come back over here and quest to end. So once that's happened, we know that we've ended the quest. We're going to come back and plug it in to add the item, so we make sure that the item actually appears in our inventory. And since this is new code, I'm going to go ahead and comment this. Okay, so that should be everything we need in order to trigger the end of our second quest. So just to do a quick test of the code I added, I'm going to come in here and quickly do both quests. This should complete the first quest, which it does. So now that should not, oh yeah, never mind. I thought that was triggering twice, but I forgot we started from at the top of the clip. Those little hint indicators are only supposed to pop up once. So here's some flax. Now if you open up your crafting and craft some flax twine, hopefully we will trigger our quest completion, and it did. So that concludes the second quest, and now this will put me onto the new page of the second quest ending, which I can go ahead and chain another quest to. So the next one will be sending the player to collect their first magical spell, and I will document that as well. If you guys are interested, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll continue doing these kind of little update insights. So this is just set up to say that the second quest is complete, so I know. This is actually the page that would start the next dialogue for quest 3, and it's obviously not filled out yet. This is just indicating that everything is hooked up correctly and that it works. It's also not set to last page, so I can hit next indefinitely. So I'll have to fix that up before I put the update out tomorrow morning, but this will also be chained to a third quest before that update is released. So it should look a little different when you actually get into the game and check it out. Okay, so now that we've gone over some additions to the quest system, I'll show you the items that were added this week. The first two are the cloth and leather storage bags. The cloth bag will add 10 slots to your inventory, and the leather bag will add 20. Both are easily craftable. The leather just needs hide, cloth, and flax twine, and the cloth bag is just cloth and flax twine. So both bags will be able to be crafted quickly from the start and give you a little extra inventory space. And further bags down the line will be drops by creatures and bosses that will increase your space quite exponentially. So these are just the first two craftable bags for now. The next items are the only craftable armor in the game, which is the leather class of armor. So we have 4 pieces of leather armor at 10 armor each, and these are craftable by the player. All leather armor pieces as you upgrade will be found via drops from bosses and creatures, or you'll be able to upgrade certain pieces at shrines found in tombs and dungeons. And so then we have the 3 spell books that were added this week. When you trigger a spell book, you'll go into the spell casting stance for that particular book. So you can see here, I'm slowed down considerably, so you want to kind of be careful when you trigger a spell cast, or when you trigger a book to go into that stance, because you will be slowed down. The first spell we have is Lightning Palm. So this is an area effect spell that has a spell preview indicator, as you can see here. And you can use that anywhere you want, wherever you release the attack key on will trigger the spell. And so that will do damage 4 times in 4 seconds in that area. So next we have Wildfire, which is a ground tracking fire spell. And these stances, the speed for the stance and the speed to get in and out of the stance via the animation that triggers it will be quicker as you increase the quality of the spells. So more spells down the line will be able to be combined into wands. Wands have 2 attacks. Then those wands can be upgraded into a staff, and staffs have 3 attacks, just like the melee weapons. And the final little healing spell is Healing Spirit. And that just does a quick healing burst over time. So now we'll head down the hill and I can do a quick demonstration of the effects of these spells on actual creatures in the game. I have a couple spiders down here that I set up who don't normally live here, but for the time being, just so I can show you these spells, I put them here. So you can see that one spider on the left was in that area of effect damage the entire time. So he took the full 100 damage while the other one walked into the area during the spell. So I'll let this guy do a little damage to me. And now I can show you the healing spell. He didn't need much damage to die. So all of the creatures will have drops in their inventory, and then you can also hit the corpse with a stone or a steel hunting knife, and you will be able to skin the animal for either extra meat or hide, depending on what kind of creature it is. Since I did take a little damage, as you can see, the healing spirit will quickly take care of that without having to craft any bandages, making it super nice. So none of the spells are hooked up to the mana reduction system. Just because I've been doing so much testing and creation of spells, I didn't want any mana affecting my ability to cast. Hopefully by the time this update or the next one goes out, all of the mana drain for each spell will be set up, in case you're wondering why the mana wasn't reducing as I was casting. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's just a quick overview of the next patch that will be released tomorrow morning, and I hope to make a lot more videos as I continue on from now on. Everything is a little more interesting to watch as I continue with the progress of the game, so I want to keep updating these little patch note videos as I go, so you can kind of see the progress of the game yourself. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I'd really be happy to answer them. And I really appreciate all of you that have hung in with me for the last 3 years as this game has progressed. I feel like I have a lot better grasp of the Unreal Engine now, and I'm able to make progress much faster. So hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of these videos in the future as progress continues. And thank you very much for all of your support so far, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.